Wallace Wilson says, wish you could get Burt Rutan to be a call-in guest. I have a good feeling I can make that happen. I'm going to go see Burt next weekend. We're going to go see Burt next weekend up in Coeur d'Alene for a little speaking event up there, do a little pre-slake action, and I'm going back on the 4th of July because that's where I spend my 4th of Julys, in Burt Rutan's hot tub. Don't ask me how this happened. I don't know. It was a strange feeling being surrounded by people who I've admired my entire life, and they're speaking to me as if I was an equal or something. It's strangely disorienting, and still a little shocking. But yeah, I will. I'll go up there and chat with him, and I have the feeling he'd love to do it. He's a fine man. He's actually a jolly old elf, Burt. He really is a jolly old elf, and he's a devil too. He's a little devil. I was up there last year, and he said, "Come here, I want to introduce you to the last car I'll ever own." And he takes me out to his garage, and he got the brand new Corvette, the one that looks like a stealth fighter. And there's a house full of people. There's like 20 people there, and I just arrived in it, and it's like, he says, he kind of leans over and says, "You want to go for a ride?" I said, "I don't know, Burt, we can't really leave all these people here, can we? There's a room full of people here, I was like, "Yeah, but it's my house and it's my car, so we can do whatever we want to." I said, "All right, let's go." So we got in this thing, he put me in the driver's seat, we backed up, and we just went up the driveway, and we didn't even get on the freeway, just went on this freeway overpass. He says, "All right, just give her a little accelerator." Off we went. And he said, now, when I say stop the car, I want you to stop the car fast. Okay, stop the car. And it's like, oh my God, man, I love that airplane. I have a Chevy Camaro. It is the best built car I've ever been in. I had that car for 2.5, coming on 3 years. Run the hell out of that car. There's not a rattle. There's not a squeak. It is a beautifully made car. And that Corvette is just awesome, astonishing. Maybe if I keep moving up in the world, I can keep the Camaro for my going to the grocery store car, my weekend kind of, jalopy that I just kind of cruise around in, because that Corvette's awesome. It's fantastic. Anyway, so yes, I think we can get Burt to call in, and he's a wonderful guy. And by the way, for those of you who haven't seen it, Burt Rutan lived in the most environmentally friendly house in America. In the Mojave Desert, he built it himself. It's a pyramid. I don't even know if it has any windows. But he drove an electric car and lived out in this energy-efficient pyramid, not because he was an environmental green weenie, but because he thought it would be cool. He thought it was an engineering challenge. How little money do I have to pay to live in the desert comfortably using engineering and mathematics? So he was the favorite of all these greenies and environmentalists everywhere before the world was burning. And then the global warming thing started, and Burt got into it and got to know one of these guys named, I think, Lovejoy, who's a founder of the, kind of global warming movement, and started talking to this guy. Burt's got a reputation. He'd already done Voyager, and I don't know if he'd already done Spaceship One yet, but he was well known. Got into it with this guy who was one of these leading advocates for global warming several years after the guy had started this crusade. And Burt said, "Look, I've looked at your data, and there's no signal here." And the guy said, "I know." And Burt said, "Well, you can't know and not say anything. You've got to say something." So, "I can't say anything. My reputation is based on it, and everybody all my friends will disappear." And I don't know. Anyway, Lovejoy finally came out and said, "No, there's the warming that we expected to see, we didn't see." And okay. So anyway, Burt does an incredible brief on carbon dioxide, and just an incredible brief. It's a 2-hour brief, 2-hour slideshow. And then all of a sudden, now the environmentalists hate him, and typical Burt Rutan fashion, they would say to him, "Well, what kind of climatologist credentials do you have?" And Burt said, "I don't have any credentials as a climatologist. I'm not coming to you with data. I'm looking at your data, and I'm telling you your data doesn't make any sense." Burt makes a living analyzing data. If Burt makes a serious mistake in data analysis, friends of his get killed. And for him to have that level of certainty, for a guy who does this not only for a living, but does it, I think I described Burt once. I said, I think the only thing that Burt Rutan could never build is the box for him to think outside of. He's a great guy, and I'd love to have him calling on the show. I'd love to get him down here, actually. It'd be fun to put him on the big stage over there, the stage and the chairs over in the fantastic kind of room that we have, back there. We'll call it the Burt-mobile, the Burt stage. So we got to get him down here and do a guest show. And that might be in the cards, you never know. Camera 2. Okay, so we got a couple more to go. We're almost done here.